In this video, I'm gonna share with you my foam rolling routine. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Malik's Fit Tips. In this video, I'm gonna share with you my foam rolling routine. Try it out before your next workout. You can do this at home or in the gym. I highly recommend you do it 5 times a week. That way you can take care of your body. I know the pump is important, but longevity and taking care of your health is number one. So try this foam rolling routine out. Let me know in the comments what you wanna see next video, and maybe I'll answer your question next video. Enjoy the foam rolling routine.
What's going on, guys? During this voiceover, I'm just gonna explain each exercise and why you should or should not be doing it. So the first exercise I do in my warm-up routine are the glutes. The glutes are I don't wanna say the most inactive, because I've heard, both sides of the coin. Yes, they're inactive, that's why we need to activate them, but I've also heard, what do you mean they're inactive? We stand up. If we couldn't stand up if our glutes weren't active. So I wouldn't say they're inactive, but I definitely know they are less activated than they could be. And I know that they're very tight because we sit on them a lot. When we drive, when we sit watch TV, when we sit in class, when we're just sitting when we're bored. So glutes are number one. If you want to stay young, you gotta keep the glutes healthy. All right. If you want to stay young, you gotta keep those glutes healthy. The glutes are our youthifiers. They're our youth muscles. So roll out the glutes. It's gonna be great, just to make sure that if our glutes are inactive, then our hamstrings get tight. If our hamstrings get tight, it starts to pull on our knee, which gives a lot of people, as myself, knee issues. So rolling out is a great way to just loosen up pretty much the whole lower body in a way. Same with foam rolling your foot, actually. Not foam rolling, but putting a lacrosse ball. If you've ever done it, try a lacrosse ball. Take your shoes off, take a lacrosse ball and just roll on the bottom. Just roll on the bottom of your foot and watch how your whole legs, like if you just did like a standing, toe touch, and afterwards, if you did a rolling of the foot on the lacrosse ball, you'll be able to go a little bit lower on that toe touch. So try that out. But glutes are great. I highly recommend starting with this, or at least doing it during your foam rolling. Basically, all I'm doing is I'm having one leg bent. I'm crossing the opposite leg, over that knee, and then I am rolling out the side, the glute side in which my leg is bent. So try these out. My next exercise I go to are the calves. Now the calves are tricky. A lot of people might not think that the calves are very tight, but those things got some knots in them. Those things got some knots in them. So when you're rolling out the calves, make sure that, I always like to start off with my toes pointed up. That's the least amount of pressure that's gonna be on the calves, because your calves are already stretched out, so when you're rolling them out. Another way to do it is pointing your toes forward. That you'll feel it a lot, rolling them out. And then to make it even harder, get on one foot. So if you wanna roll out both calves at first, toes pointed towards you, and then the toes pointed away from you. And then eventually you wanna get to a point where you're lifting up that other foot, crossing it over, and rolling out one calf at a time. Rolling out one calf at a time is, whoo! I don't know if you can see my face, but I am, whoo! It is hurting. I have some knots in my calves, I know. I remember the first time I foam rolled back when we did yoga and football in high school. I almost cried, I'm not gonna lie. The tears were coming, it was painful. Oh, not a pleasant feeling at first, but definitely you can feel the difference of doing this even just a few times, and the pain goes away quick. So highly recommend you try these out. Switch legs, and if you'd like to make it a little bit more challenging, you can twist your calf. So you can kind of roll out the inner calf and then roll out the outer calf and kind of move your calf that way. The third exercise that I do during this foam rolling routine is the inner thigh. So the inner thigh is a great one. I didn't actually do this up until about 2-3 years ago. I didn't really, one, I didn't know about it, and two, I didn't think that the inner thighs really needed it, because we use it all the time. As we're stretching out our quads after a workout, we're stretching that as well. But after doing this, it's not only about the inner thigh as well, it also really helps opening up your hip. So as I'm going and doing this, I'm opening up my hip a little bit. I'm feeling my hip stretch, so I'm getting a nice rollout on my inner quad, but I'm also opening up my hips, which is always good, especially if you're doing, squats, deadlifts, Olympic lifting stuff, power cleans, things like that. It's really good to open up those hips. So try this one out. It's the inner thigh. You're just pretty much putting the foam roller vertically, putting that knee right on the outside of the foam roller, and then pretty much the more you move your ankle out away from your body, the harder this will be. The closer that your ankle is towards your body, the easier this will be. And then you want to just make sure that as you're rolling out, you're pushing that knee to the ground. You're pushing that knee to the ground. So this is the inner thigh. I'm a huge fan. Try it out for sure, especially if you haven't done it. All these exercises are great, or all these foam rolling exercises are great, but you have to also choose and pick which ones are best for you. If you have extremely, loose calves, because you do another thing, maybe you don't have to foam roll your calves if this isn't your cup of tea. But I do know that foam rolling does help, with releasing that myofascial release, getting your muscles a little bit more activated and open and breathing. So definitely try those out. Now we're going to the upper body. The upper body, I always start off with thoracic, extensions and flexions. So this is great. I actually didn't know how hard this was when I started it. So a lot of you guys will be surprised of how far you can actually go down. But right here, I'm pretty much putting the foam roller right in the middle of my back, put my hands behind my head, and I'm trying to reach my head down to the ground through extending my thoracic spine. So for those of you guys who don't know, thoracic spine is your upper spine, the lumbar spine is your lower spine. Your core wants to not move that lumbar spine. It's supposed to stay still, belly button pointed forward, but your thoracic spine is supposed to be flexible. During golf, you're not rotating your lower back, you're rotating your thoracic spine. During this exercise, I'm not trying to overextend or flex my lower back. It's all in the thoracic spine. So go all the way up, and the challenge is to reach your head to the ground. So if you can do that, reach your head to the ground, good job. Keep doing it, but good job. A lot of people can't. So try that one out. And then after, I just hug myself real tight, lift my hips by pushing down through my heels, and I just roll out my back. Again, just rolling out that thoracic spine area, the upper back. You'll hear some popping. Go ahead and switch hands. Go ahead and put the other hand on top now. And you'll hear some popping on the other side. Your traps might be sore on your upper back, but this is a great rollout routine right after that thoracic extension and flexion routine. After I get done with the back, or after I get done with that rollout, I go ahead and go to the lats. The lats are tricky. The lats can be either very tight or very, inexistent. So you are either gonna feel this like a MF or you are not gonna feel it at all. And so with this one, if you do a lot of pull-ups, or if you try to do a lot of pull-ups, you do a lot of lat pull-downs, you do a lot of rows, you do a lot of back stuff, you're definitely gonna feel this one, especially if you don't stretch. So definitely take this one light. I'm lifting the hips and I'm rolling out because I've done it before. It's still painful for me. But another thing you could do is just sit there, find a tight spot and lay. And maybe just rotate your body left to right. Just a little bit left to right. That's amazing. Switch sides. You're gonna feel that right underneath your armpit. All right, so you're gonna place that foam roller right underneath that armpit. You're gonna lift those hips if you can, and you're just rolling that out right below the nipple line. Right below the nipple line. So this is really gonna help kind of open up that back, make that back feel better. And it's also gonna put it's gonna lessen a lot of pressure off your shoulders, which could eventually help you with reducing your risk of shoulder injury down the line. So try these out. Includes the foam rolling routine, guys. I end it here. I do some dynamic warm-ups, which I'll share in the next video. But that is my foam rolling routine. Use it, steal it, share it. If you have any questions you want me to answer next Malix Fit Tips, comment down below. And remember, be certain in yourself, be consistent in your actions, because consistency is key. See you next video.